Priya Shrotarah, and good morning good day to all of you. I am going to discuss about this present day hype, which is Sanskrit and artificial intelligence. How far Sanskrit is useful and whether it is the language for artificial intelligence, specifically with a reference to an article by a person called Rick Briggs, a supposedly researcher or a scientist of NASA, and he had published an article in 1985 in the Artificial Intelligence magazine, volume number 6, number 1. Volume number 6. Volume is 6, sixth volume, and number 1. The paper is there, it's on the internet also. I had mentioned about this paper briefly in my book, A Search in Secret Sacred Hinduism, about Sanskrit as an artificial intelligence, with reference to this research paper. But later on, there were a lot of other articles commenting upon these articles of Rick Briggs. And, several articles are there, but one of the article which I picked up was some tech buzz, something, it was written as techzoworld.wordpress.com. I went through that article and I do not know the writer, but I would like to contradict, I would like to comment upon that article also in this speech, and it will be divided. This video will be divided into some several parts, so please keep watching all those parts to get a completion, to get a complete idea of my opinion. Now, what is all this? What is all this means? Is this an overhype to say Sanskrit is the best suitable natural language for an artificial intelligence? Is it an overhype by our own people, Indians, who just pick up somewhere something somebody has written, and whether they are trying to overhype all these things? Well, I would like to go completely on this. I did a good research on this, and myself being a Sanskrit student in right from 71, 72 in Bhardhya Vidya Bhavan, Chennai, Vivekananda College. Later on, I picked up interest, studied the Vedas, up to Ganapatas in some Panjabis that you can see in my YouTube. You can say key in a Subramaniam Brothers, and then you can go there, see the drop playlists. So, and then I did my Fortran COBOL programming while I was a student in management in USA, and some computers in management in IIT Chennai, a brief course. It was a brief course in 76, I think, or 77, early January, February. I'm exposed to this programming also, and in the way I thought it is justifiable and I should comment on this writings in the internet, comments by various people on this article. So I'm now picking up on this article, this TechZo, it's TechZo World, I think, TECHZO world.wordpress.com. A writer writes beautifully. I mean, there is no my belittling the writer's comments. It's highly justifiably welcome, but certain areas, yes. The first area is, let us not talk of Rick Briggs, whether he is actually alive or he is an imaginary personality, whether he was working in NASA, whether he was a researcher. Let us throw away all those things. He may be or may not be. That's not the issue now. Now, the main point here is, one, see, I have noted down certain points in which the author in this article says, Sanskrit, he comments, he says Sanskrit is a good language, natural language, and it is very scientifically structured. That absolutely no issue. But when you talk of occupying the bytes, the space, he says Latin is something easier, because Latin, it occupies a less space, whereas in Sanskrit, if it is being used through English Latin alphabets, transliteration they say, if you through that, it occupies 14 characters for a word called Denver, Denver. Now, if you want to use it through Sanskrit like DE, then EN, then VI, like that, maybe right. I'm not saying. But that is not what we have to use. We have to use in the original natural formation, the Devanagari script. Now, here we have to see certain factors. Therefore, whether it occupies 14 characters through Latin approach, Latin alphabets, we are not going to approach. We are going to approach the language only through its original Devanagari script. Devanagari is not the original. There is a Sharada Lipi. Devanagari Lipi must be about 700, 800 years back in my research. There must be, there was Sharada Lipi, there was Nandinagiri Lipi. Brahmi scripts and all was very old, and then Sanskrit derived. No, we are not going into all those areas, but I want to be used in the Devanagari Lipi. Now let us come there. Then means it is same as Latin only. There is no occupying 14 characters or the glyphs they talk. What is a glyph is, in Sanskrit, they say that it occupies more glyphs. That is, what is glyph? See, the word A in English, the Latin formation or the English, you take the English language. I'm not going to Latin also. They are writing as A like this, or you can write this like this and this, or the A can be just dropped down, the perpendicular, the tail can be dropped down without curving again. So these are all the formations. So anything in italics you can see. There are formations. If you go to the windows and all, there are a lot of formations, italics, the bold and all. We are not talking of the caps. In Sanskritam, we don't have the English caps, a big cap and small like that. In Sanskrit, we have only one. Now, so in that case, in that method, if you approach the programming, the language writing, well, there is no difference. Sanskritam will not occupy much. That point, I am trying to have a different opinion on that comment. Therefore, that point, let us leave it out. It cannot, any language, if you write it in Hindi or if you write it in Tamil, go on the Tamil script. You cannot convert, transliterate, or you convert that all this Hindi or like the to Latin formations, because that may be confusing, absolutely confusing. So, if you approach that with Sanskrit Devanagari Lipi, it is perfect. In Latin, now coming to the next portion, in Latin, what happens is, there may be a duality, but I doubt whether in Latin you have duality for anything. In Sanskritam, I will just explain to you, this author, I am coming to the next comment, this author says that there is no gradation, everything is fixed. Panini did a hard work, intelligently he appreciates Sanskritam because it is very nicely engineered, and Panini systematically brought all this into the foreplay of an intelligent engineered language. Therefore, there is no further gradation, there is no further development. Sir, I do not accept that. In Sanskrit grammar, we have the dhatu, dhatavaha, plural, ukaranta, punlinga, shaptaha, guru, guravaha, we say ukaranta, punlinga, masculine, gender. So, dhatavaha, we have what is known as Aupadeshika Dhatavaha and Adideshika Dhatavaha. Now, Aupadeshika Dhatavaha, Panini gave about 2000 Dhatavaha, Dhatus in English, plural. He set apart the Dhatus. And what is Ati Deshika Dhatavaha means? It is created by me, it is created by you, it is created by us from another Dhatu. So, how can you say that there is no gradation? For example, in Panini gave a Dhatu, a common example is Jna. Jna means knowledge. Jna we write. And then from that Jna was derived, see, from that Dhatu, you can get a Pratipadikam, Sa, Jnasa, and then you can add a Supratya and go to Subandham, or you can add a Ting Pratyaya directly from the Dhatu and go to Tigandam. If you add a Ting Pratyaya. So, what happens is, Jna becomes Jnasa and then Jnasate. Jnasate means wishing to know. The yearn, Y-E-A-R, yearn to know, yearn for knowledge. Jnasate, it is Atmanepadi Rupaha. So, likewise from Panine's Dhatu, you can, Jnasa is another Dhatu. Likewise, we have a structure from Panini Dhatu, if you add, say for example, a Krit Pratyaya, it will become Pradipadikam. Then from Pradipadikam, if you had a Supratyaya, you get what is known as Subandham. That is a noun formation. And from Panine's Dhatu, if you had a Ting Pratyaya, you get what is known as Tigandam, verbs. Now, from Subandham also, if you had Sanadi Pratyaya, you can go to another dhatu that is called Adideshika dhatu. Adideshika dhatavaha. There are already 2000 now. See, from one dhatu, you can create from Panine's dhatu, you can, not only other dhatus, but from, say, for example, Panine's dhatu, from one dhatu, if you can create more than 1 lakh words. 100,000 words you can create from one dhatu. I'll come to that. And there are 2000 already dhatavaha of Panini. So, 20 crores means 200 million words from Panine's dhatavaha we can create, which is already there. Now, from Panine dhatu, you can create another Adideshika dhatavaha. So, each dhatavaha you can create 200 million, 2 lakh words. Suppose 2000 words Adideshika is there. There are already 200 million. From each dhatu, you can create more than 1 lakh words. From Pradipadikam, say if you add, you go to Panine's dhatu, from Panine's dhatu, if you add a Krit Pratyaya, you will come to a Pradipadikam. Kridantaha. From Pranipadikam, if you add Supratya, there are 21 Pratyayas in Subandham, in Supratya. See, we have 480 different Pratyayas. We have 7 different sections, main sections. That is called the Vikarana Pratyaya, the Sanadi Pratyaya, then you have the Ting Pratyaya, the Krit Pratyaya, the Sup Pratyaya, the Stri Pratyaya, and the Tiganda Pratyaya. You have 7. And you have different number of Pratyayas in all these 7 sections, totaling 480 Pratyayas you had. So, if you're from the Pradipatikam, if you have a Sup Pratyaya, you will come to Subandham noun. Now, in the noun, that means, for example, Am is one of the 21 Supratyaya we have. And 21 formations we will have. How? I will tell you. There is one dhatu of Panini called Ram. Ram means joys, happiness, joy. Tena janaha ramyante saha Ramaha, we will say. For example, Ramaha, by whom others are ramyante, rejoicing. And yena, by whom others are rejoicing, that saha is Ramaha, our Rama. Now, from Ram, if you add a Krit Pratyaya, you will come to Rama. Then if you add Pratyaya, you will go to Subandham called Ramam. Now, there are 21 Supratyaya. So, you will have a Ramaha, Ramau, Ramaha in the Prathama Vibhakti. Ramam, Ramau, Raman, Ramena, Ramabhyam, Ramaihi, Ramaya, Ramabhyam, Ramebhyah, Ramat, Ramabhyam, Ramebhyah, Ramat, Ramayoho, Ramanam, Rame, Ramayoho, Rameshu. So, for example, Ramaha, Ramau, Ramaha, Ekavachanam, one singular, duality, Ramau. Rama, Lakshmanau, we will say Ramau, 2 Ramas, or Rama, Lakshmanau, Mata, Pitarau, like Kalidasa is using. That is duality, energy and matter beautifully. That's why Panini brought in duality structure in Sanskrita, because energy and matter, there cannot be a coin without 2 sides. Then you have the Bahuvachanam, Ramaha, Ramau, Ramaha. Then Ramam, Ramau, 2 Rama, or in Tamil we say Urubu. So, to him, then Ramena by or with or along with, Ramena, Ramabhyam, Ramaihi. Bahuvachanam, Ramaihi, by all Ramas or with all Ramas. Then Rama, it is a Dhana Kriya, Rama, to Rama, like that we are having the conjugations. Rame means in, on, Rama. Rameshu means Bahuvachanam, in, on, amongst lots of Ramas are there. Janeshu. Janeshu means amongst a lot of Jana people. You are having likewise Ting Pratyaya you can create. Karomi. We have also Karami, which very little people know. Karomi, Aham Karomi, Avam Kurvaha, Vayam Kurvaha, Tvam Karoshi. See, if I am going to talk like Mivaha Mahasita Hataha Titaha Hanti Saha Karoti, then we say Saha Tau Kuruta, Kurvanti, Te Kurvanti. See, we have formats. What I am saying is, how you can say that there is no gradation when you can yourself create further dhatus, and each dhatu can produce 1 lakh words, where there is question of no gradation. It is, you cannot go, it is fixed like what it is in a tight compartment. Nothing of the sort. Panini has given a beautiful setup. You can just create scientifically several dhatus, and each dhatu will create you 1 lakh words or more, 100,000 words or more. And already with the existing Panini's dhatu is called Aupadeshika dhatu. Aupadeshika dhatavaha, bahuvachanam. He has already given us about 1986 or 2000 you example, for example. 2000 and 1 lakh, 100,000 of each, 2000 into 100,000, you will get 200 million, you calculate. And you can create further dhatu. So this 200 million is not fixed now. We have lot of sanadi pratyaya, pradipatikas, and then we have all these pratyayas. From tadida pratyayas, if you add sanadi pratyaya, all this goes to pradipatikam. Pradipatikam is the next stage of a dhatu. And you can create several dhatus. So the question of gradation in Samskrita does not arise. It is a free-flowing language, and every word in Samskrita, my dear author who has written, is a derivative. It is not, say for example, English. They have taken the words like Pandit now into the dictionary. Guru, it has become a dictionary. Catamaran, it comes from the Tamil word Kattumaram. Because when British were ruling India, when they were in Chennai, Madras, catamaran, Kattumaram was what the fishermen were used to say. So they have put the word catamaran, guru and all. They don't have scientific derivation. Because English is the language which we are using today for the computer. So what I am telling is, for example, in Sanskrit, if you take Vishnu, it is a proper name, Mahavishnu, God of the Hindus. Vish is presence everywhere, plus Anu, atom. One who is present in every atom is Vishnu. Any word you take, you will get the derivative, any proper noun. Now the author says, in the proper noun, like A-E, you should have a vowel ending. Otherwise, it is difficult for conjugation. That is not right. Who said? See, if you take A-E-I-O-U, it's a common 5 vowels in English. Okay. In Sanskrit, we have another 5 vowels also. You can match that. This 5 is there. A is there. But the long one, A is there. E is there. U is there. A, O. So O and O is another vowel. Is there. U is there. So we have something like another 5 vowels are also there. So if you take a word like I told you, Ram plus a Krit Pratyaya, Rama plus a Sup Pratyaya, you will get Ramaha or Ramau, Ramam. Aha, if you put Ramaha, you can put all this. And then you will get all this derivation. So where is the question of saying that if you have a proper name ending, it is difficult to get the format unless it is a vowel. In Subandha, in the noun format, and in the Tigandam, in the verb format, we have brilliant ways of expressing without ambiguity. Without ambiguity. Like I told you, Rama is also derived. Everything is derived. So, Paramasya Ishwaraha, Parameshwaraha, we have the dhatus like Jignyasate, Jignya, plus dhatu, another dhatu is Jignasa, plus if you had the Atmanepadi Rupa Hate, it will be Jignyasate, means he Jignyasate, Saha Jignyasate, he wants to learn, he is interested to learn. So, any word in Samskrita is structurally more or less very nicely defined, and Panini also brings the Avyaya Pratyaya, that is, you cannot change that, it is fixed. There are certain Avyaya Pratyaya where you cannot change, like Upasarga has ni and all, you cannot change it to format. You can add, we have the Upasargas which gives us, which strengthens the meaning of the word, or it may give the Viloma, the opposite Artha. So, in no way, gradation is impossible. Gradation is everywhere there in Sanskrit, and even if you have a name ending without vowels, you can conjugate it. It can be conjugated very nicely. So in these 2 points, I am now really not agreeing with the author. Whether RICK BRIGGS existed or not, is a different question. In my next section, I am going to harp upon Sanskritam grammar, how it is short, and what is meant by a semantic net, and what is meant by the artificial intelligence, what is meant by the machine language, and how a machine language can teach a computer. And that's why why, what is an artificial language, and all we shall discuss and apply with Samskrita, and then we will find the benefits. Till such time, Bhuyat, Tavat, Shubhamangalam. This is my part 1. Thank you.